On today's episode, we are going to take a quick look at Intel. They just reported earnings and the stock is down about 5.4%. Not only that, we're also going to take a quick update on AMD and Nvidia. Both of them have upcoming earnings. AMD is next week, I believe, and Nvidia is later on in August. But still some nice updates on those two stocks as well. So let's just jump right into it, right? Intel earnings, I personally didn't think they were horrible or they were bad to really see this 5.3% drop. Obviously, I don't right now I don't have Intel in my portfolio. I do have AMD and Nvidia, but even though I don't have Intel, I'm pretty sure I can still say, hey, I don't think their earnings were bad, even though especially for this type of stock price movement. So first, let's try to understand what's happening. One of the major reasons I believe is causing this price drop is a lot of analysts came out yesterday and early this morning and kind of decreased their overall price target. This one went from $70 to $60. This one went from 57 to 55. This one went from 80 to 78. This one went from 75 to 60. This one went from 75 to 70, and this one went from 69 to 60. From 72 to 70, so from 58 to 50. So we see a nice, even though most of them are still higher than the price right now, just the overall sentiment that, hey, we have to decrease prices right now, even though they're still higher than where the price is at right now, kind of causes, I want to say, a bearish sentiment, and it's one of the reasons the stock price is down right now. The second reason I believe the stock price is down is right now we're hearing about a lot of semiconductor shortage, right? This is the thing. Semiconductor chips, we're seeing a huge shortage. So if there is a huge shortage, you would expect a lot of these semiconductor companies like Intel to provide strong revenue growth, right? Really strong growth. So Intel, unfortunately, if you take a look at non-GAAP revenue, they were only up 2% compared to same time last year. So you're saying, Jose, man, why there's a shortage in chip, but this company was only able to grow 2%? No wonder the stock price is down. And yes, I do want to say to some extent that is true, but the CEO did mention that if they could make more chips, they can sell more chips. Right now, it's just a supply constraint. So it's not like they're not selling out from the chips they have. It seems like they're doing pretty well. And this is something that's going around, right? Right now, Intel CEO says chip shortage will get worse before it gets better. They remain in highly constrained environment where they are unable to fully support demand, right? So again, if they were able to produce or get those chips, they would be able to sell it. Now, guys, before we go any further, let me know in the comments, who do you think will perform better in the next 12 months? AMD, Nvidia, or Intel at current prices? I don't know why I think I have my money on AMD, even though I own Nvidia and AMD. I think AMD might be the strongest performance in the next 12 months, but I would love to hear from you guys. Also, let's take a quick listen to today's sponsor, a great reason why I'm able to provide so much content to you guys for free. I want to thank The Motley Fool for sponsoring this video. The Motley Fool is a company that provides investing insight and stock recommendations for investors of all skill sets and risk levels. You guys know I love finding new investing tools and resources to help me scout out new growth stocks. And right now I have a discount for one of my favorite services the Fool offers. Through the Motley Fool Stock Advisor services, you get access to a ton of expert stock picks. Every month you'll get 2 new picks that are aimed at growing your wealth and to help you realize your financial goals. Stock Advisor's average stock picks have done amazing returns. If growing your money is something you'd like to do more of this year, you can visit fool.com/Jose Najarro or click on the link below for access to my special offer and decide if the stock advisor is right for you. Thanks again to the Motley Fool, and now onto today's video. All right, so now let's take a quick look at Intel's earnings. They have 2 major segments that really dictate this company's revenue. The first is the computer segment. This is your laptops, your wherever you see their CPUs kind of go into, which is for the consumer world. This is most likely like the your laptops, maybe some tablets, maybe some computers and stuff like that. That was up 6% compared to same time last year. And they believe this segment is still going to be strong in the upcoming quarters, especially even though the people are returning back from working from home, hybrid work style is still continuing. So they still see strong demands in laptops and desktops and in the mobile world right now. So that's up 6%. Unfortunately, their data center group, which makes up a good portion of their revenue, 6.5 billion, was down 9%. And this might be a very bullish sentiment towards, for example, AMD, right? AMD is one that's kind of taking shares from Intel right now. So seeing the data center group down again can kind of give a bullish sentiment towards AMD. Next, their Internet of Things was up. The biggest one higher was Mobileye. Not sure if you guys are familiar with Intel, but Mobileye is their kind of their autonomous vehicle segment, and that was up 124% compared to the same time last year. Their Internet of Things was up 47%. So overall, they're still seeing growth in in their smaller departments, even though they make such small portion of the company's total revenue. Who knows if autonomous vehicles, if autonomous driving becomes a huge future, Mobileye could be a leader in that segment, right? So just something to keep an eye out. Another thing Intel did mention is they do expect their data center revenue to return year-over-year growth in both quarters remaining of 2021. So that might be another bullish sentiment for Intel. And Gail Slinger, the CEO, also mentioned that the company's research and development costs will increase throughout the year. They're really expending money to make sure they're ramping up production. They're kind of moving into that manufacturing field as well. And not only that, they also did raise their full-year guidance for 2021. So like I mentioned, not the worst earnings. I didn't think it was bad. I definitely don't see why it would drop 5% right now. But hey, some investors did not like it. I'm personally still not, I don't think I'm planning on buying Intel anytime soon. But I don't think it's horrible, right? This is not advice, just my overall thoughts. So next, let's take a quick look at AMD. As I am recording this episode, the stock price is up 0.43%. So, I mean, I would say maybe some investors are a bit excited that, hey, Intel saw a bit of decrease in the data center realm. It might be bullish signs for AMD. AMD is reporting earnings this upcoming Tuesday, July 27th. So that I'm excited. I'm definitely going to do a video on it. Let me know in the comments if you guys want me to do a video on it. Even if you don't want me to, I'm still going to do it. But I do want to mention, right, if you are an AMD investor, two things that I personally am going to be keeping an eye out is, first, AMD is their computing and graphics segment, right? We're seeing a decrease of, well, we're seeing a lot of kind of restrictions in China for cryptocurrency mining. And that's a good portion of this graphics segment. So I want to see if that is kind of causing a toll. The main reason I want to see it from AMD is because Nvidia is later on in August. So it kind of gives me a forewarning of what to expect. The second thing is, right, we saw that data center growth decline in Intel. I want to see if it's growing on AMD. If it's growing for AMD, that's a much bullish sign. Again, we also still have the new generation consoles that are being sold out like no tomorrow. So I do believe the enterprise, embedded, and semi-custom segment for AMD is going to provide strong returns. Finally, I want to take a closer look at that Xilinx, more information on that Xilinx acquisition that's expected to happen later on this year, I believe, and super bullish on that. Now, if we take a quick look at Nvidia, as I am recording this episode, the stock is down about 0.79%. I mean, this after its 4-to-1 split has had an amazing return. In the past 5 days, it's done 8.63. So, I mean, Nvidia, I do believe in forms of stock price, it might be a little bit overextended. I have no intentions of selling, even though it's my #1 position size right now. Super bullish in this company. Recent news on Nvidia on July 22nd, so yesterday, 2021, analysts upgraded this to $223 from $180. So a lot of analysts are bullish in it. Unfortunately, I'm not a fan when analysts are bullish in a company. I believe it brings too much excitement. That's why I feel like Intel might not be looking too bad. Again, I'm not planning on purchasing, but you have all these bearish sentiments from analysts. So that might be, I usually try to look at the opposite, but in Nvidia, right, we can see this 223. That's a huge price target. Another thing you are going to see is a lot of analysts are going to be adjusting their price targets based on the stock split. So some of you might get freaked out. For example, this one previously had 925. Now they brought it down to 235. But that's because of the stock split. They just adjusted the numbers. So nothing to really freak out about. Nvidia, they do report earnings. I mentioned August 18th of 2021. So about 11 days before my birthday. Hopefully they give me an early birthday gift. Either way, if the stock price goes down, it's an early birthday gift because I am able to buy more. If the stock price goes up, it's another early birthday gift because my portfolio does amazing. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode. Take care, have a good night, and see you next time.